whenever somebody like Eddie passes, you start to hear all the stories and be reminded of some of the stories that you knew in the first place. But the story about the Bumblebee, the black and yellow guitar that he buried with Dime.
With Dime, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, originally I guess he had promised to build him a second one. He promised Dime to build him his own copy of that guitar, and he never did it. And so he buried him with the original.
Wow. Crazy.
couldn't have gone to a finer dude.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, I mean, while we're on the topic, this is a good segue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we
segue master.
We lost Eddie this week. I mean, this is it's a huge blow to the musical world, and not just metal and rock, like the world of music in general.
Yeah, I mean,
he revolutionized like every aspect of guitar playing.
Yeah. I when I was 14, I made a friend at the new high school that I started at. I went to his house, and he had a guitar and an amp, and he played Eruption note for note. Paul Hamilton, if you ever listen to this, you were a wizard. You were a prodigy, and I'm so mad that you stopped playing guitar. I'll never forgive you for not continuing to play guitar. Hopefully, you'll pick it up again someday. But like, he played that for me, and I went, I don't know what that is, but I want to do that with you. And I had already been thinking I wanted to play bass, that I wanted to be Geddy Lee. So I was like, screw it. Mom, I need a bass. And then I just jammed with Paul nonstop, and that was the sort of the beginning of me getting into music.
Did your mom make you get the old man bass first?
No. Luckily, 0 people on Earth think that acoustic bass is cool, except the Violent Femmes. But no, I mean, acoustic bass is the worst. Play stand-up if you're gonna play, a non-electric bass, play the real thing. But those are
why would you want that much like bulk on? They're so massive. Like, no, not fun.
Yeah. And to sound terrible.
For real. Just
you can't make the chamber big enough to get the resonance you need for those low notes.
Just flat and mushy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. So on that, why don't we just share what's our all-time favorite Van Halen song?
Favorite Van Halen songs.
It could be Van Halen or Van Hagar. Either one.
Dude, I love them both. I do. But obviously, like, as far as, like the obvious, I think Jump is like the perfect, like, pop hard rock song. It does everything. Like, it has keyboard progressions. It's got super catchy vocals with a whole lot of attitude, and the most succinct yet ripping guitar solo ever.
Yeah. No, it's a good one here. Let's tuck into just a minute or so of it.
A snippet.
I can see the video still.
Oh yeah.
I'm also getting sports arena vibes right now too.
Welcome your San Jose Sharks.
Totally.
I think we found you a side gig, JD.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that song ruled for a decade. You couldn't avoid it anywhere you went.
No, completely.
All right. So I got a pull here, from not that album, but I did not organize this. All right. So the lead off track from Fair Warning. So we're going to listen to a little Mean Street. What I love about this song is that, Eddie loved the intro, right? So sprinkled throughout these records are these like indulgent guitar intros, but this is one where it was like really succinct, really tight, but still had all the great elements of his, more indulgent intros. It's got, aggressive use of modulation effects. That phaser is like cranked to 1,000 in sections of the song. It's got a brilliant solo, and it has that vibe that I think my favorite Van Halen songs, they're like soundtrack songs for a dystopian 80s movie with Kurt Russell, right? like this is a song that's playing in the background.
You mean Escape from L.A.?
Or whatever. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Like Atomic Punk would be another one of those too.
So I almost picked Atomic Punk, but to me, Mean Street is like the evolution of Atomic Punk. It's like
for real.
They took the ideas in Atomic Punk and then perfected them.
I love this song. It's dirty, it's nasty. It has it all. It has all the Van Halen check marks.
And this.
Ah.
Got the chills. Yeah.
Filthy.
What year did this album come out?
81.
81. Yeah.
It's like someone wondered out loud, like, how could you take a band like ZZ Top and then bring them into a new decade? Not that ZZ Top didn't dominate the 80s, but it's like that. It's those essential kind of boogie riffs that are like the main riff in that song is nothing new, but everything, all the dressing around it is so perfect.
That's really cool, Jeff. I never thought I've never thought of it that way. That it does have a really like modernized. It's like if you took ZZ from the 70s and like transported them from like 75 and they had to go like write something that was now. That's kind of what that sounds like.
It's a lot of what it sounds like. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, and I think what I don't know if it probably doesn't get overlooked. Maybe it's not talked about enough is that what a key element Alex Van Halen is to that stew. You know, his drums, I think he has, like, I'd even go above Bonham as like my favorite drum sound. Just that snare crack that he gets is insane.
Yeah. No,
it's so cool.
He's great. I go back and forth on Michael Anthony. This is probably where I'll get some guff. Fuck, if I have to watch another one of those bass solos that he does.
Yeah, no, dude. Right on board, homie. Right on board.
But
what is it? Is it the 5150 live video where he has the Jack Daniels bass and just comes out wonking? Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Don't.
Or like the quintessential like cynical bass player tattoo of the tablature for fucking
the bass note
running with the devil. don't for like a mile.
Dude. I think that's actually how Dave Mustaine met Dave Ellefson. Is that Ellefson was playing that like on 11 at like 10 in the morning at this apartment in LA, and Dave lived below him, and he drew a lot of ire from Dave for that one, but the rest is history.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love these stories.
All right.
See, mine is
what's
not,
yours?
Mine is not deep at all. It just has always been one of those Van Halen songs for me that just every time I hear it brings a smile to my face, and I just can't wait. It's Hot for Teacher. Oh. Just that opening drum sequence was just like, it's just, it just gets me going.
Yeah, testing my knowledge of the discography here.
It's on 84.
Yeah.
Those drums.
I just love it. Oh.
You gotta love an indulgent intro.
In the video, there's like one like 10-year-old boy that's dressed like each of them. They have like the little doppelgangers.
So cool.
What do you think the teacher's gonna look like this year?
I wanted to, I was saying I wanted to post the video on Facebook, but it's like, it's not. That video did not age. The song didn't age. I mean, the music did, but
yeah, it's
it's all about sexy teachers.
It's uncomfortable.
I think that can be said of a lot of things that came out of the 80s, like
completely.
Movies. Totally. Like I thought it'd be a good idea to watch Monster Squad with my 12-year-old son.
No.
And, oh my gosh, dude, it's terrible. Like,
so
you
many.
know, at least they didn't drop an N-bomb in it, but there's another one, like, we don't say the other F word in this house, and it's all over. It's like, jeez. And I think, like, Dracula just, like calls a little girl a bitch or whatever. And, like,
Dracula.
I just look over at my son. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
am I done?
Yep. I know. I remember that, too. That was, like, that was when Olive decided she wanted to start watching horror movies. I'm like, okay, let's start with something. Oh, Monster Squad. Yeah, we'll start with Monster Squad.
Yeah, it's perfectly not innocent.
Like, oh, shit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the honorable mention for me was not even the whole song, but since it's right below Hot for Teacher is Drop Dead Legs.
Oh my God, dude.
A friend of mine posted on Facebook probably just earlier today. There's a section of that song. Well, I mean, it's got great riffs, but like...
That. Yeah, that is ZZ Top as fuck.
It's so dirty. To walk that super progressive riff into that just dirty, swampy boogie slowed down is just so awesome.
Yep, with no click.
Generation.
No click to be heard of.
No, come on now.
Typically in 1 or 2 takes.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Should we listen to the music that people sent us? Or no, sorry, what were we going to say?
I was just going to say, like, one more, like, deep cut. You don't even need to play. I just mentioned for the people. When they released their 1996 greatest hits thing, they had 2 new songs that have David Lee Roth on them, Me Wise Magic and Can't Get the Stuff No More. Those 2 are some of my absolute favorite Van Halen songs ever. They're like, it's like taking Van Halen of the 70s into the modern age, like what we discussed as ZZ Top, but they're actually doing it themselves. It just, the drums and the guitars just sound so killer. And like Dave kind of goes crazy Aunt Linda for a minute on some of the moments with his like, whoa! But those songs, if you got a second, check them out. They absolutely kick ass.
Yeah, I'll have to take a listen to that. I didn't even know those existed. You know, it's like I love Eddie and I enjoy Van Halen, but it's not like a band that I go back to. It's not an old band that I constantly re-listen to the way I do say Rush or King Crimson or you know any of a number of old bands. But I'm always happy every time I hear them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I do this every year. Getting closer to like Christmas, I literally go on like a whole Van Halen trip, and I listen to all their stuff, except for Diver Down. I'm not huge into that. And there's a couple of, like the Gary Sharon record is.
Oh man,
I forgot terrible.
about that.
Yeah, keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I will.
It's terrible.
Which one is that? When was that?
It's
2012.
No, 1998. 2012 was an actual David Lee Roth release.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
98. Van Halen 3. Oh,
it's not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
The only thing that I wish with Eddie and with Van Halen in general is he was such a progressive player, but they always just wrote these ABC pop songs. I would have loved to have seen him get shoved in as the guitar player in a band where they were writing more expansive stuff, right? Writing like a 12-minute fucking epic, metal journey that he just played on. It'd be so fun to hear. I know he guested on a ton of shit.
Oh yeah, I think they could have, really done whatever they want, and that would have been really cool. Though there is a song, it's at the end of Balance, which is a Van Hager record. It's like the 6-minute closer. For some reason, I can't remember what it's called, and I actually listened to it yesterday. But it's 6.5, and it does it moves through some progressions, man. And it's
feeling,
yeah. And Sammy's at the top of his lungs, kicking ass. It's a really cool song. It's got a lot of really neat changes and a really cool mid solo section that Eddie just goes all Eddie on it.
Yeah. Sometime we should have Trevor Church from Haunt and Beastmaker on.
Yeah.
Because he's arguing heavily in favor of Van Hagar because, of course, his dad was the bass player for Montrose, and he knows Sammy personally, and argued that Dreams is the greatest Van Halen song ever written. And when you listen to it, man, that's a fucking perfect pop song.
And I'm not going to argue with that, dude, because